Hello and welcome to That Analytics Show, which, as I was practicing, I realised that rhymes. I'm going to keep that. I can see there's a really weird comment just appeared on screen. Need to go and work out where that came from. If you're on Facebook, I am so sorry. If you're on YouTube, hello. If you're on LinkedIn, hello. I'm overexcited, clearly, because it's been almost 3 months since I did a live show and I've almost forgotten how it works and I've changed everything around. So there's something I want to close it straight away. So anyway, welcome. I am Amanda Webb. You are watching That Analytics Show, which is a new monthly live show, which is hopefully going to take the pain out of your analytics. My whole goal with this is to give you just something small and simple that can help you decode what is going on. I can see somebody is watching. It is Sarah. I was just talking to Sarah yesterday. Hello. Oh. Lots of weird things. Hello, Sarah. Great to know somebody's watching because I forgot to put the thing on screen that shows me when someone's watching. But there you go. So the idea of this show is it's going to be a short little tutorial. Hello, Kate. I'm going to stop getting distracted by the people on the screen, Amanda. It's going to be a small little tutorial, something that you can learn about analytics that should help you understand it better and connect it to your marketing so you can actually understand what is happening. And I've got my glasses here, so I'll be putting those on and off as I do kind of like screen sharing. Lots of tech is going to go wrong today because this is the first one. It's going to happen every first Friday of every month. And I want to call this measurement day because one of the problems I know that people have is getting around to that moment where they measure the results of the campaigns that they're running. So this is a good reminder to do that. It's a good reminder to sit down today and decide what it is that you want to achieve this month. So this time next month, you'll actually be able to measure it. And I think that's about it. That's what I want to do for you. So now I can see there are people commenting. It's cutting out for Katie. If anyone else can tell me if that's an issue for them, let me know. It could be Facebook. I think I'm streaming on various Facebooks. I hope I'm not cutting out loads. That wouldn't be good. Good morning, Mel. Great to see you. Hopefully I'm going to enamor you all with the world of analytics. How helpful. Thank you. Hello, Oma. Great. Hopefully I'm going to keep it short like the digital coffee used to be, just half an hour. Streaming is all good on LinkedIn. It's good on YouTube. It could be Facebook, Katie. I don't know. Or it could be your internet. Hello. Val says it's an issue happening on Facebook. Well, you can all come over to LinkedIn. It's better there anyway, right? Yes, it is an issue on Facebook. So if you're watching on Facebook, sorry, like. Also, there's for some reason a weird comment popped up. Right. Okay. So here's the issue. Years ago, you will know that I've been in digital marketing. I started out on this whole journey about 17 years ago, learning how to use the internet to market my business. And I was kind of forced into that because when we first launched my first website, which was a completely different business, it wasn't appearing on Google. So immediately that was my goal, get it to appear on Google. And that's where my journey started. And over the years, I've done so many different things. As a lot of you know, I used to regularly blog 2 or 3 times a week about all the social media news. That blog got a lot of traffic. I was getting 50,000 a month at its peak to my website. But there was a problem there because even though the blog got accolades, I won 2 awards for that blog. It's a multi-award winning blog. Even though I was getting lots of accolades, it wasn't really converting into customers because I found out what was happening was people were coming, they were reading an article and leaving. And there were 2 reasons for that. One, it wasn't necessarily related to what I sold. It was driving a lot of traffic, but it wasn't related to what I sold. And secondly, I wasn't really packaging what I sold properly. But that part will leave for another day. And this was frustrating for me because I had all these website visitors and not much that I could do with them. I mean, they'd sign up for my email list, sometimes I think by accident, because I had a pop-up window and they would never open the emails. So it wasn't great traffic. And that meant when I wanted to do Facebook ads, for example, everyone was like, oh, just retarget your website visitors. It's the best you could have. But when I did that, I was retargeting all those people that really had no interest in what I was doing. And what else? It also meant if I wanted to create a lookalike audience, I was just creating an audience of more of the wrong sort of people. So I was ticking over, but I wasn't getting much business from my website as such. It was all a lot of like networking, and there was a lot of like connections that I was making elsewhere, and a lot of just getting noticed. And that was time consuming. And this is a problem I know for a lot of people. It's still a bit of a problem on my site because all that old content is still up there. Somebody, one of the top ones is how to tweet more than 140 characters. You've been able to tweet more than 140 characters for a long time. So that's driving a lot of traffic to my site. If I really want to know if the people who are visiting my website are valuable, or how, just specific things about my ideal customers who are visiting my website, I need to do something. And I can fix that in analytics. So I'm glad to hear that Facebook is back working again. That's really good. Right, so now I made something pretty. Let's see if it works. Here we go. It worked. That's good. Right, so this is my analytics. Before I start, I just want to, I suppose, say that I've been messing around with consent mode, right? I use my own analytics, terrible practice, by the way, to experiment with things. And I had consent mode on my website, and I was just playing around with the tags a while ago, and then something else occurred and I went away and I killed all my website traffic, basically. I fixed it yesterday when I noticed the issue, but that means I don't have a lot of data to work with for the last month or so. But I do have, so I'm going to show you stuff that includes data from the last 12 months. That's the reason. Embarrassingly low traffic for the last month, like, 3 people a day or something. And that's just because I broke it. Right, so we're in analytics. I hope you can all see that properly. I've kind of hidden your comments now, so hopefully everything's working okay. Let's go into our reports. So the first thing we can do to find out who the most valuable people are that are visiting our website is we can go down to this user attributes report. And this tells us a little bit about our users. And we're going to go into demographic details. And I've gone here because this is the most accurate. Like, Google doesn't actually have that much data on the people who visit your website. But 2 things you can be pretty sure it knows about are the country that people are coming from and the language that they speak. So it automatically shows you the country. So I can see all of these here. See, these are in my target market. Ireland, United Kingdom and Ireland are obviously my top, then the United States and Europe and Canada. They would be my top target markets. And if I scroll across, now, if you're an e-commerce site, your revenue will be a lot more interesting. I only sell a few products online, so my revenue isn't that exciting. So there's 2 things. If you're e-commerce, revenue is going to be important. Otherwise, key events. Key events are what used to be called conversions and used to be called, before that, in the old analytics, they used to be called goals. These are the things you actually want people to do on your website. So for a service-based business, it could be downloading a lead magnet or a brochure. It could be filling in a quotation form, and we'll have a look at that in a while. So this is what you want to measure it on if you're service-based. It's also a good second measure for e-commerce. E-commerce, obviously, it's revenue. So here I can see, if I scroll across again, that the most visits I get are from the United States, second United Kingdom, third Ireland. But if I scroll across, we can see that revenue-wise, Ireland, even with its small amount of people, is winning. So, page views aren't always or visits or sessions aren't the most important thing. We can also see that United States then, and then the United Kingdom. But if I go right down the bottom, Netherlands, which is in my Europe group, is also doing really well. But as I said, revenue is important, but not as it's measured in Google Analytics. If I look at my key events though, I can see that actually the United Kingdom is people from the United Kingdom are doing more of what I want them to on my website than people from the United States or people from Ireland. So that's really interesting to look at. I can see my valuable visits there. However, when I say my key events and like the United Kingdom is doing best, that's not so, they're not actually doing best compared to the number of visits I have. So if you look, United Kingdom 2,300, Ireland 1,000, you can see there's not that much of a difference in it. And this is what key event rate can tell me. This is the percentage of people who visit my website who trigger a key event. And in that case, thank you, Ireland, because this is where I live and where I love, is doing slightly better than the United Kingdom and way better than Ireland. So this is, and again, Netherlands. Thank you to the people who visit my website from the Netherlands. You know, it's only a small group, but thank you. Right, so that's told me something. I can also, and this may or may not be relevant to you, it's not relevant to me, but I thought it might be interesting for you. I can also add a secondary dimension here, knowing that Ireland and the United Kingdom are my top countries, for example. I can click into the plus button here and I can break that down. I can break this whole report down by the device type that people use. So are people visiting on mobile, desktop, tablet, and what's the difference between those? So if I just start typing in device there, we'll see it comes up, device category. We can get down to brand as well, you know, if you want to break down Apple and Android, but let's just go for device category. And here we can see, if I scroll across just those important metrics again, desktop is doing better, small amount on mobile. Desktop for the United Kingdom is doing better, but also doing well on mobile. Ireland, I've just got one for mobile there. Let's just order it by country so I can see. Oh, that wasn't a good idea. Shouldn't have done that. Okay, so I can actually come in and I can type into the search bar Ireland. I know I just went off screen now because that's my thing over there. And now I can see some stats just for Ireland, and I can see desktop in Ireland is producing the best results. Now, it's not a big deal for me because I do check my sales pages, work on mobile, but I know most of my traffic comes from desktop. But particularly if you're e-commerce, you want to look at that, which is great. But Amanda, let me just get my comments up before I go on to the next section. But Amanda, that's all very well, but that's not like filtering everything. I want to just, what if I just want to see only the people who visit my website who fit into my core target market? So for example, here, if I'm going by revenue, which I'm just going to get rid of my Ireland filter, and let's just have a look by revenue. So if I just click on this, it will filter that, it will order the whole report by revenue. So by revenue, I can see that people in Ireland on their desktop generate the most revenue. So wouldn't it be nice if I could just look at how people behave on Google, on my website, that come from Ireland and visit from desktop? And you can, right? So this is part 2 of the tutorial. Now we're going to go into the admin panel. You will need admin access to be able to do this. And if I scroll down in this section here, we should see something called comparisons. Now, these are quite new. So if you haven't looked at analytics in a while, I'm so glad they added these. So if I go into comparisons, it's created these comparisons for me already. So I can actually go in and I can see how organic traffic and paid traffic compare, which I don't run many ads, so that's not going to be a thing. Or how mobile traffic and tablet traffic compare, for example. I can do that, but I'm going to create a comparison based on that ideal customer from Ireland on desktop. By the way, that's not my ideal customer. I also service everywhere else, just in case you're thinking I'm not from Ireland. I work with people around the world. I don't know why I needed to say that, but I did. Right, so if I click on new comparison and I'm going to select the dimension, I'm just going to start typing country. It's much faster than going through the drop-down menu. And select match type, I'm going to go for exactly matches. And when I do that, when I click this third button, it gives me a big list, which is easier. And you can select more than one. So if I wanted to bring all of Europe together, for example, or all the countries in Europe that I target, I could do that. So I'm going to say Ireland. Right, so now I'm going to add a new condition, which is going to be desktop. So that was device category. So I'll start typing device again, just so that I don't have to do all the scrolling. Device category, and exactly matches, select dimension, desktop. And I'm going to click save and give it a name, and I'll call it, say, oh, sorry about that noise. I have to lean over here when I type. Oh, hello. Best customers. Okay. And confirm. Right, now I've done that, I can start applying that to all my reports. So if I go back into my reports, here we are. I'm just going to go back to, as I said, not enough data because I killed it with my... Honestly, I'm glad I make the mistakes on my own website. Right, we're back into the... So now what I can do, we've got this add comparison button at the top, and I can choose my best customers. You can see we've also got all users selected. Click apply. And now you can see I've got them all on all these reports. It's compared. So I can see that first time users come to me, it's organic search tops in general, but from Ireland on desktop, it's direct followed by organic search. This is interesting to me as well, that those all come above email that I work hard on and organic social that I work hard on. Good to know that organic search is still working there. I can also get rid, I can just switch off all users here. And now I just see the data for my ideal customer, so I can see how they're engaging with my site. And this applies then to all the reports. So if I go into my standard, where did my customers come from report, and again, I'm going to get rid of that. We're into best customers. I can see again, direct organic search. This is all really interesting. I can change this to my source, which should show me the website people came from. And yes, direct, Google, ConvertKit, which is my email, newsletter, which I'm wondering what it is. LinkedIn, Bing, Facebook. So this is really interesting for that. What's more interesting though is, and I can also scroll across, by the way, and see if I got any revenue from there, and just from direct and Google and email. They're the three places that I got revenue from these customers. See, and that tells me that I should work on my search engine optimization if I want to target more people in Ireland, and I should maybe attract more people from Ireland to my email list. But what's really interesting, what I can do the same with any report. So I can go into, say, my landing pages report. So which page do these people visit first on my site? Now, if I look at, and I'll switch the comparison on here. If I look at the comparison, I can see that there's a lot of people in the world coming to this blog post, picking Facebook competition winners, published in 2014, completely useless because they never convert into customers. I mean, I have tried everything. If I get rid of all users, I can see that actually people are going to the important pages on my site. They're going to my home page. That's what the trailing slash on its own means. We can ignore not set. That's a whole other session. This is like one of my course pages. This is like a booking page. So all of these are relevant. And even when we do get down to the blog content, you know, at least it's relevant, right? It's 2023 blog content. This one is actually about Google Analytics. So I'm really happy about that. And also, apart from, you know, there's people interested in my key products as well. So this shows, this is good. And I can also see the key event rate for that. I can see which pages are driving the most key events, which landing pages on my website. Right, so that's cool. One more thing though, what about conversions, right? Which are now called key events. I've got like this customized key event report. When Google switched the name from conversions to key events, they also took away the conversions report, which was really annoying. I'm going to show you a way you can restore it in a second. So now I'm there, I can actually see which key events people from Ireland are triggering the most. So what are they interested in the most? And after my contact form, which I would say is possibly a lot of people just selling to me rather than the other way around. I can see that my biggest performing lead magnet is this mini course, which I'm actually going to be running again really soon. I'll talk about that in a second. That's actually along with purchase, that's my second biggest key event that those people, specifically the people from Ireland on desktop, are triggering. So now that I found out, let's just go back because I'm not going to be in analytics anymore. Now that I found out more about my ideal customers and how they're interacting on my website, I can make those decisions, like spend a bit more time on SEO because those people are coming from Google. And also, I want to promote the Connect the Dots course a lot more within Ireland because those are the events that they're more likely to trigger. Now, it's a tiny amount of events there, so it's not really statistically significant, but it's definitely something I can work on. Right, I'm going to move my comments over because I can see I've had comments while I'm away, but I think you're all just, hello everyone. Right, okay, so that is almost it. But two things. This new analytics show is one part of how I'm replacing what used to be my key content, which was the digital coffee. The second part is a podcast that I'm working on, and I'm launching that in November of this year. So we've got September, October, we've got 2 more of these, possibly 3 more of these before it's launched. So watch out for that. It's going to be everywhere. I'm just kind of working out the details. I've got hosting sorted. Secondly, if you're interested in that Connect the Dots, which is a real mini course that's just simple things like these that you can do for your analytics, that's coming up. Don't even have a link for that yet. But what you could do for me right now is you could help me by filling in this survey. It's just 2 questions about analytics. And the reason I'm running this is because I'm putting together my Analytics Ace program for the late summer. So for September, which some people would say is autumn. And I just want to make sure I've made some improvements. I just want to make sure I've got my bases covered. I want to know what problems people have with analytics, just so that I know I'm tackling it in the right way. And that's what that's for. There is an option there to sign up to the waiting list for that as well. If you're on my email list, I'll be letting you know about Connect the Dots anyway, or if you're following any of my pages, I'll be sharing it there. I can see I've got a few new comments. Any questions about today's session? Somebody says it was very useful as ever. I will come over to LinkedIn and see who that is shortly. Thanks to Kate as well. Thanks for joining me. I don't think I saw you earlier. Katie, as always, thanks for all your questions. You've got a similar issue. I'm imagining that's about the terrible website visitors. Okay. How did I do? In under half an hour. I was worried that I would go on too long. I hope you enjoyed this show. I will be back the first Friday of every month. I forgot there was one more thing I wanted to show you. Let me get rid of all this stuff off the screen. Let me go back into demo mode. I told you I would show you how you could put that conversions report back. How can you put that conversion report back where it came from? Now, you may have got an email from me about this recently. Just let me get rid of that property ID. May have had an email about this from me recently, about how you could put it back. And this tool wasn't working temporarily because Google made an update. But this is really great. So you can see they've got a conversions report here. It's ga4builder.com. And basically you just put your property ID in. It's got all the details there. You click apply and it will reinstate your conversions report that Google, I'm going to say, accidentally got rid of when it got rid of conversions. That's not me. That was the countdown timer. Couldn't finish the show without pressing a button wrong. So thanks a million for joining me. I will see you next month. Bye-bye.